Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of New Product Innovation. I'm Saif Abdelghani, Product Innovation Expert, Podcaster, and PDMA Egypt Chapter Leader. Welcome everyone to a new episode of New Product Innovation. And welcome to our new series, The Life of a Product Manager. This time we're gonna discuss a new season talking about every aspect of the life of a product manager. When we hear the word product manager, lots of things come to our minds. Product innovation, product roadmap, backlog, business driven, leadership, etc. Yet, no one understands the challenges and struggles that product managers really pass through just to be able to deliver a really successful product. They have no real authority on the team members they are working with. They are in the middle of everything that's happening related to the product. They take all the blame if the product fails, yet they get all the credit in case it succeeds. They have to influence the entire team around them to ensure a successful product launch. Let's take a small journey together in a regular life of a product manager. Product manager's job usually starts at the very beginning, even before there is a team for a new product opportunity assessment. They start first with a strategy for their own category or the product line, where they will focus, which consumer segment, understanding the macroeconomic trends, consumer journey, behavior, insights. They try to understand what is the real job that their consumer is trying to solve, whether it is for a new product or a refresh of a current product. It really doesn't matter. What really matters is an understanding of what is the job to be done. One of the very nice quotes that we have in product management is, people don't want to buy a 1/4 inch drill. They want to buy a 1/4 inch hole. After understanding the job to be done, and I can tell you, this can take a matter of weeks until the team really nails down this one accurately and correctly. This is not just a simple exercise that can be wrapped around in 1 or 2 days. You have to really understand what is the real job to be done here. This is an extensive process where a really big cross-functional team based on research data, insights, analysis try and answer a very important question. What does the consumer want to achieve? The problem usually happens when the product team starts thinking of a solution even before first thinking about the problem. And sometimes you develop a product, a solution that no one really wants. One of the very nice examples was Google+. It's an extreme failure. Facebook was doing one, so let's do one as well. What were you thinking? It was one of the biggest failures in Google's history. At this stage, the product manager and a small innovation team start front-loading, understanding what the job to be done is and what they are trying to solve for the consumer. The next step would be understanding the landscape. What are the current ways that the consumers are using to solve the problem that exists today? Is there a competitive product already there? Are the consumers doing a manual solution to solve the problem? Is there a replacement product that they indirectly helps them to solve the problem? And at this point of time, as a product manager, you're not even thinking of your own solutions. You're thinking, what's the problem? What's the job to be done? What are the solutions existing in the market today? You didn't actually start developing your own. Understanding the landscape, what is really happening in the consumer journey to get the job done, and what exists on the market today is one of the key essential research points. Yet, many product managers fail to do this properly. Now, after all of this, you start analyzing the existing solutions. You start to understand and crack down how the current consumer overall experience is, where the opportunities that can elevate your solution are, the touch points. At this stage, several team members get more engaged. Design, R&D, marketing. The products team starts drawing the minimal viable product that can be a hit in the market. So, you start in the beginning understanding what's the consumer's problem? What's the job to be done? What is the solution existing today? Where are the touch points that can really make an impact? And then, and only then, you can really think of a solution. Now, There are few issues and challenges, of course, that any product manager face. First thing, and this is one of my favorites, is the design team wants to deliver the best design that can enhance the experience. Of course, having a great design is always good, but that doesn't come cheap. It's a failure point from a product manager is that they don't set the expectation from the beginning, where they brief in detail the design team, not just on the experience they want to deliver, but also on the cost expectations. If you don't do this properly, I can guarantee you will find yourself with a design that's too expensive, and if you don't see it in the beginning, it will be too costly for you as you move forward. Everyone knows, once there is an investment in place, especially in physical products, changing a design is almost close to impossible because you have spent too much money. Yes, it's a sunk cost, but the company won't invest more money to change the design. And you will at the end face the issue that you launch a product, maybe it's really good, but it's not really good enough because you are touch base on a price point that your consumer is not able to meet. But again, that's not really the end of it. Reloops. You have to continue doing reloops with design team until you come up with a really good design that match the expectations you are setting. Then your next step, can this design be easily manufactured? Because it's always a problem for physical goods. You can make a great design. You can try to make the design within the cost expectations you're setting. But if the design is too much complicated, it cannot be really manufactured. That's why, from the beginning, there has to be a collaboration point between design and R&D. So, after you have the preliminary design, your R&D team starts stepping in. And sometimes, what you put on paper is not really easily achievable in reality. You have to go through the product requirement brief in details. And this is one of the key mistakes, and listen carefully on this point here. A mistake product managers do with the technical team is that they provide a solution. Sometimes you have to clearly understand that you have to give the guideline, the requirement, not the solution. Because if you gave technical teams a solution, I can guarantee you, most likely they will not think of an improvement. They will take the solution as it is, implement it, and tell you, you're the product line. You provided the solution, and I'm just doing it. Why are you not happy? So, you have to be able to give the requirement, but not the solution. And then, and only then, not just the research and development team, the entire team has to try to solve the problem and create the solution together. So, if you are asking for the solution, you must know that you give a requirement. You don't give the solution itself. You shouldn't provide technical solutions to R&D. You provide your brief expectations in terms of what? Specifications, performance, quality, functional and non-functional requirements. And one of the key important points is the cost level. And based on the design agreed, the R&D, the team tries to find a technical solution to fit all of this. Let me tell you a little story happening between two technical team members. Technical team member number 1. I don't really understand why we're doing this product. What are we trying to achieve? Technical team member number 2. You know what? Me neither. But it is what the product team requested. Possibly they know better. I'm not sure who actually would buy this product. The above conversation happens among technical development teams in different projects, organizations, and industries, where it shows that there is a massive disconnect within the organization. How would you feel as a product manager if your team developing the actual product has no idea why are they doing it? What are they trying to achieve? I would say that this would be one of the worst case scenarios for any product managers. You always have to make sure that it's very clear from the beginning of the product development projects to everyone, and I mean here everyone, what are you trying to achieve? Why? how, when, and for whom. If the people actually building the product have no single idea or understanding these key fundamental questions, and not just understand, they have to believe it, they have to sponsor it, promote it across their colleagues and across the organization, then I would say there is a significantly high chance your product will either fail or not come with the best outcome possible. Every team member must believe in the product, have a clear understanding the need for it. Only this way, you as a product manager will have not just team members, but product ambassadors as well. You have to understand that in any organization, there is always lots of different projects, lots of different priorities. And as much as you want to put priority on your project or product, you have to understand that silos, political landscape within any organization, and your only asset in this case is your own team. How much they believe in the product they're developing, that they are willing to go the extra mile, not just to develop it, but to make it perfect. One of the key things that, as we spoke before, product managers have to put in place is setting the expectations from the start. How many times have you seen a product fail and not pass a checkpoint or a gate and put on hold because there were several expectations at the checkpoint or the gate itself that were just raised, that was a bit hidden, assumed it was already there? Please, do yourself a favor and your team as well. Set your expectations clearly from the start. Repeat, and repeat again, so that everyone have a clear understanding that these are the expectations we are setting to see it as an output. This has to be from the beginning of the innovation activity. And as you go, you have to refine them until you reach the project start. And at this point, you have to be crystal clear on what, why, how, when, and for whom you're trying to achieve this. It's not just about putting the data on the paper or on a PPT and do a nice presentation where everyone clap their hands and applause and they exit without actually knowing. No, believing in these 5 main questions. You have to understand that as a product manager or a product lead, you have always to keep reminding your team why you're doing this. Keep them engaged on the how, what you're telling them that you're trying to achieve to make your targeted consumers' life better. At the end of the day, you're developing a product to make the financial outcome for the company better, but it's not just about the money. It's about the brand. It's about making the consumer experiences better. Ideally, you build that expectation document from the start, or in this case, it becomes a charter where you really outline what are you trying to achieve, and that document has to be circulated and recirculated and refined as you go across the organization to answer 5 key questions. What are we trying to achieve? Why are we trying to achieve it? Who is our targeted consumer? When do we need to achieve it? And how are we going to achieve it? Answering these 5 key questions, what, why, who, when, and how, is really critical. And in the next episode, we're gonna know, after defining these 5 key points, what's next. Hi everyone! If you like the episode and would like to follow up on the next episodes, please subscribe on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or Spotify, or in any other application you're following up the podcast on. And if you like the episode, please share it. This was Saif Abdel Ghani, Product Innovation Expert, podcaster, and PDMA Egypt Chapter Leader.